Yesterday, we have all seen the peace conference taking place in the United States of America, where Vladimir Zelensky has flew over to meet with Trump and the American delegation. And as we know, it didn't really go well because there was a bit of a scrapper going on between Trump and Zelensky. And I do want to expand on this topic a little bit more because a lot of people don't mention this in their videos because they are quite scared to get demonetized or to have some sort of a problem. The biggest issue that I see right here is the fact that we could clearly see that Trump is taking sides right here. And he's saying that he's the person in the middle, right? Which would have been great in a sense, but Trump has called Zelensky a dictator, right? I mean, we all heard that. And then after he said, oh, did I say that?
Did I say that? I can't believe I said that. Next question.
You know, pretending that he has never said that. I'm not sure if it's memory loss problems or it was trolling around the Ukrainian president, which is not the best time of doing so because the Ukrainian president is literally going through war times where his citizens are getting killed daily by the Russian invasion. That is not the way to speak whatsoever. Talking about Zelensky actually being in the conference, we could definitely see that this conference was supposed to be talking about the minerals, the peace agreements, and how all of this is going to work out. It was more talking about how Trump is so great and that the war didn't start with him anywhere and that if he was there, nothing would have started. And J.D. Vance.
What kind of diplomacy, J.D., you are speaking about? What do you mean?
I'm talking about the kind of diplomacy that's going to end the destruction of your country.
Yes, but if you
Mr. President, with respect, I think it's disrespectful for you to come into the Oval Office and try to litigate this in front of the American media. Right now, you guys are going around and forcing conscripts to the front lines because you have manpower problems. You should be thanking the president for trying to bring an end to this conflict.
Have you ever been to Ukraine that you say what problems we have?
I have been to.
Count once.
I've actually watched and seen the stories, and I know what happened.
I'm like, are you for real? Like, you're not gonna know what's actually happening without being there because Zelensky did invite them to go ahead and check out the reality of what's going on. Surprisingly enough, Donald Trump has also not mentioned the fact that $500 billion have disappeared somewhere and we need to get it back. That was not mentioned. Mentioning that Zelensky is a dictator was also not mentioned by anybody whatsoever, which I would have loved to hear in person, you know, them sitting together and one of the reporters asking this question. And we could definitely see that the reporters were chosen with the questions that they would have wanted to answer. Now, Trump, after the peace conference, has commented about Zelensky and the future of Ukraine.
Very good feeling. I think our country has really turned around. We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up a strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that, but 2,000 approximately people died this week. Young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. Now, if we don't do anything, he's going to have to make peace, but he's dealing with a very weak set of cards. If we sign, he's dealing with a very strong set of cards, and then he doesn't want to make peace. So that's where we are. It's very simple. I'm not looking to get into anything protracted. I want immediate peace. President Putin is going to want to make, and he wants to end it. And you saw what I saw today. This is a man that wants to get us signed up and keep fighting, and we're not doing that, not for this country. So we're setting a lot of records. Economically, we're setting records, and I think every way we're setting records. One of the best is the right track, wrong track. You saw that. We're on the right track for the first time in over 27 years. People are...
We could see that Trump is saying that Zelensky is up for fighting, and that he played the wrong cards. First of all, we're talking about a nation here. We're talking about people's lives. This is not a card game. You do not flip cards or anything like this. You cannot just be doing business deals. You need to have security guarantees. It's like, imagine I sell you a car, right? You come over, check out the car. You say, I like it. Then you tell me, you know what, Ivan? I don't have the money right now, but sign the documents and let's register it under my name. And in a week or two, I'll give it to you. I'll give you the money. That's basically what is happening with the security guarantees here as well, because Trump thinks that if there's going to be U.S. companies and some sort of a U.S. deal, just deal without security guarantees, that Russia is not going to be doing anything. That is not true, because Ukraine had a lot of foreign businesses, including businesses from the U.S., office buildings that were occupied, then deoccupied. So that is definitely not a security guarantee whatsoever. So Zelensky, after the press conference, which didn't really go well, and he was asked to leave with the delegation, went on Fox News and explained himself a little bit more.
I said that we have to sign this document, and we are ready for this, and this will be the first step to security guarantees, but it's not enough. I think so. Maybe I don't know something. I don't know some details. That's why I wanted to share it with the president, my thoughts, and to hear him. Again, because he has a plan how to stop Putin. And maybe, as I said, maybe it's out of big conversations, but we have to share it. You know, this is so sensitive. You know, just a ceasefire without security guarantees, this is so sensitive for our people. I'm speaking like a president of a people who are in this struggle 3 years, and they just want to hear that America on our side, and that America will stay with us, not with Russia, with us. That's it. But I'm sure that it will be. This is the first step to security guarantees. Europeans, we don't need to lose them. They are good allies for the United States. The United States is the most, or the biggest donator of support and of peace. But we don't need to lose Europe, and they also want to know next steps. We have to be very open to understand how to stop the war.
Right. But do you think the public spat in the Oval Office in front of the media served Ukrainians well today?
I think this kind of spat is I mean, this we have. I mean, this is not good for both sides anyway, and I'm very open, but I can't, you know, change our Ukrainian attitude to Russian, and I don't want they kill us for us. You know, this is very, very clear that Americans are the best of our friends, Europeans are the best of our friends, and Putin with Russian, they are enemies. And it doesn't mean that we don't want peace. We just want to recognize the reality, the real situation.
So we could see that Zelensky is really looking for the voice of Ukraine so that they will also have a say in this. And it's not one person. And I can fully understand him. He has to take such a big decision for the future of the country. One person, I mean, there's a team of people, but the last person to sign is the president of Ukraine. And if he does the wrong decision, he's going to be in a lot of trouble, and his country is going to be in a lot of trouble as well. And can you imagine the soldiers at the front lines right now that at one moment they're going to be like, oh, ceasefire. I doubt that the Ukrainians are really going to want to stop this, because a lot of their land has been captured. A lot of their citizens have been killed. A lot of the comrades of the soldiers have been killed. It's not going to work out that way. And pushing the agenda of Ukraine having to pay reparations towards the United States is also wrong. I know there's going to be a lot of people supporting this idea and saying that we've sent them so much stuff. But at the same time, if we look back into the history when Ukraine had a nuclear arsenal, the United States and Russia has said, remove it, and we will provide you security guarantees. And the United States of America said, if you remove it and somebody does try to attack you, because nuclear arsenal is a security guarantee, nobody's going to be attacking a nuclear nation. The United States said that if you ever get attacked, we're going to be helping you because we're providing you a security guarantee. And now that it's happened, guess what? You got to pay us money back. I mean, come on. Well, what is the agreement? It's like, what's the point of actually signing an agreement nowadays, you know? It means nothing. How can you do diplomacy? No idea whatsoever. It just looks like they just want to stop it in a way that Putin is a winner. And he feels like a winner already. Well, he did before what has happened, because Zelensky left after Trump basically said, get out of here. And they wanted to actually sign the deal. They were waiting. The delegation was waiting. But, you know, Trump didn't even feed them lunch that was planned. He just said, get out of here. That's how it happened. You know, this is like children in a playground with bullies and stuff like that. I just do not respect the fact that you could be saying stuff like you're a dictator to Zelensky, the country that has been attacked, not calling a person who's been in power for the past 25 years a dictator, saying that he wants peace, but he's the one who actually attacked Ukraine, makes absolutely zero. There's no logic to that. You could try to change my opinions on it, but you're not going to be able to do it because I'm literally speaking facts right here. And I'm a Russian citizen as well. So, I mean, come on. Come on. I'm talking about my own country here as well. And after this unsuccessful conference, the Trump administration is considering halting all current military aid to Ukraine following the events in the Oval Office. After the conflict with Zelensky, Trump consulted with the key officials in the Oval Office. After that, the Ukrainian president was asked to leave, as we know. According to CNN, Donald Trump consulted with Vice President J.D. Vance, Secretary of State Marco Rubio, Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, and other top officials. After the conversation, Trump decided that Zelensky was not in a position to negotiate and told Rubio and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz to tell the Ukrainian leader that it was time to go. The Ukrainian officials waited in a separate room the entire time. Afterwards, they were supposed to meet for a dinner to discuss various issues. It was canceled and they were immediately asked to leave. You don't want to play by our game, get the heck out of my office. That's basically what happened. It seems like I'm watching some sort of a mafia movie, if you're asking me. And not only this, the U.S. State Department ends support for restoring Ukraine's power grid. This week, the U.S. State Department ended a U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, initiative that had invested hundreds of millions of dollars to rebuild Ukraine's power grid. What does this mean for Ukraine? It means that it's a lot of trouble because guess what Russia does? They shoot missiles at power grids of Ukraine, which during the summertime, you could kind of live, right? But Ukraine's winter is harsh, guys. You get snow and it's cold. And guess what? If you don't have electricity, you're not going to be able to heat up the houses. So that's not a very nice thing to do if you consider Ukraine your allies, which it seems like from the Russian state television and the propaganda that it's not really going out that way. Also, a lot of people were asking me, Ivan, what do you think about Zelensky coming in without a suit to the Oval Office? Anyways, look at this. The person who actually asked Zelensky not wearing a suit was actually a journalist for a Russian media outlet called TASS. Yes, guys, the Kremlin was asking questions at the Oval Office. Guess what? There's a simple answer to this. This is a picture of Winston Churchill in the White House. He's not wearing a formal suit, but military clothing. Do you know why? Because there was a war going on in his country. And it wouldn't feel nice, you know, when you have soldiers on the battlefield and you're wearing a nice, I don't know, Armani suit or whatever suit. You know, I'm not a big expert on suits, but it wouldn't even look nice towards. You need to show a bit of respect to the defenders of your country which he is trying to do. And then we have the interesting tweets from several people, and I will start with Donald Trump. A statement from President Donald J. Trump. We had a very meaningful meeting in the White House today. Much was learned that could never be understood without a conversation under such fire and pressure. It's amazing what comes out through emotion, and I have determined that President Zelensky is not ready for peace if America is involved, because he feels our involvement gives him a big advantage in negotiations. I don't want an advantage. I want peace. He disrespected the United States of America in his cherished Oval Office. He can come back when he's ready for peace. First of all, he's asking the United States and Trump to be on his side because we're talking about an aggressor that invaded his country. So obviously, he's looking for support from a bigger country, a superpower that can back him down and make it all work out. You know, have a big brother beside you to help you sort things out. Whereas it seems like it's all turning towards Russia because, you know, Trump called Russia first. They started negotiating without Ukraine. They said that they don't even need Ukraine for negotiation. So I'm not even sure what he is trying to say in this tweet because it literally diverts from what he said before and what he's saying now. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And we could not talk about different people commenting on the situation about the conference, but we had to mention Medvedev. And right now he's a deputy of the chairman of Security Council himself. He was the vice president before. He was the president of Russia just for one term when Putin was trying to figure out how to change the constitution so he could be in power as a dictator for a very long time. I quote him. He says, "A fierce dressing down in the Oval Office. Trump told the cocaine clown the truth to his face for the first time. The Kiev regime is playing with World War III, and the ungrateful pig got a solid slap in the face from the owners of the pigsty. This is useful, but it is not enough. We need to stop military aid to the Nazi machine." First of all, Medvedev, you cannot be talking about people like this because the rumors say you're an alcoholic, first of all, right? Second of all, you were the ones who invaded Ukraine. So calling Ukraine a Nazi doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Absolutely no sense. And the last but not least, the Pentagon is halting all military cyber operations against Russia. The U.S. Military Department confirmed. U.S. Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth has instructed the U.S. Cyber Command to hold offensive cyber operations against Russia. If I was a U.S. citizen, I'd be asking myself questions. Why are we stopping cyber operations against Russia? And why are we calling a country that is trying to defend itself, the president of it, a dictator? Why are we trying to extort money from the country that is defending itself from the promise of what the United States gave them when they removed the nuclear arsenal from the country? It is very scary times that we are living in today, guys. And I want to say a big thanks to all of you watching this video. If you would like to support my work, you could go ahead and check out my Ko-fi page in the links in the description. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time.